to use English to present. My Chinese isn't great, but I can understand. So how many people here know what Tapjoy is? I've heard about it. So one of you guys. How many of you guys develop iOS applications or Android applications? So I think a few of you, most of you guys. How many of you guys are doing purely games? The rest of you guys are doing utility apps? Okay. I'm going to be more focused on the game side because that's where Tapjoy's strength is. But our product will work for any sort of applications. But here I'm going to talk about mobile trends and the keys to success for particularly free-to-play, not paid apps. So my name is Aaron. I'm the Business Development Director for Hong Kong, Singapore, and the Southeast Asian region. And a little information about Tapjoy. We were founded in 2007, so we've been around for almost 5 years. Headquarters is in San Francisco, and we have offices all over the world, US, Europe, Asia, and we reach 500 million customers worldwide. That's across all platforms. Our platform is basically to help everyone in the ecosystem. That means developers, such as you guys. It means advertisers, which could be you guys, or it could be big brands, or it could be anybody else that wants to put advertising on mobile applications. And also every mobile user as a consumer app user. So anybody that likes to play games. And we get them all together and we join them all up. So what that means is if you as an application developer want to find users, you guys can use our platform to find users. If you guys want to make money off your users, you guys can also come to us to make money off your users. And if you guys just want to find and play new games, you guys can also come to Tapjoy.com to play new games. And again, we reach over 500 million users. On average, these people are fairly old and they have quite a lot of money because they're college educated. So a lot of advertisers like to use the platform because they can monetize their users through us. So we talk about the market sizing opportunity. I'm sure a lot of you guys understand the crazy growth in mobile smartphone users and this whole market. So I just wanted to show again how big this market will be. So currently, as of last year, there are almost 500 million smartphone users in the world. In the next 4 to 5 years, that will double. So you guys are in this space right now. You guys are quite early, which is great because you guys will follow this wave and follow this growth. And just to look at kind of the iPhone and the Android shipment, you can see that Android has outpaced iOS in the last last year, and it will continue to outpace them. So this might want to give you guys an idea of kind of if you want to continue on developing for iOS, or if you want to explore into Android, or if you want to do both. This kind of gives you your market sizing for the next 4 years. And when people buy smartphones, what are they using? They're going to be playing apps. And from our internal studies and from external studies, we've seen that people spend 85% of their time playing apps. Only 15% of the time they're actually in their browser. So you guys want to. So if you guys want to build apps, you guys are going to be focused on the users that are spending their time on their phone.
What's the group
Oh, this is going to be like an American study. So it's mainly based on the user habits of American smartphone users.
It's like a general sample size of average?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, average users.
Okay. It's not like something was...
No. This is just like the general person that buys a smartphone, and that most of their time is going to be spent playing apps. I mean, this is kind of like your mom at home that has like an iPhone. What is she doing at home? She's just playing games or kind of doing Facebook or stuff like that. They won't be in the browser itself. So what kind of apps should you build if we've already found out that people are going to be using their time playing apps, and you guys want to be focused on those users that are spending all their time playing apps? Well, we can take a look at kind of the iTunes market back in 2010. And this is a list of the top 7 top grossing apps, so the apps that were making the most money in 2010. As you can see, only 2 applications out of this top 7, but really there was actually a top 10. Only 2 of them were free to play. The rest were all paid. So you can see here, they're Angry Birds, Call of Duty, Plants vs. Zombies, and these were all, a couple bucks, maybe $1 or $2, $3 US. And that was in 2010. These guys made the most money. But in 2011, just 1 year, only 3 apps were paid. Angry Birds, Infinity Blade, and Motion X, which is the GPS navigation application. The rest were all free to play, so they were all dominated by Zynga, Storm8, TinyCo, CrowdStar. I don't know if you guys heard of these guys, but these guys are pretty big in the free to play market. They make all the free apps that everybody plays. And these guys dominated the top grossing wall, which means that they made the most money, overall revenue. So how were they making all this money? They were making it through in-app purchasing, all the stuff that you buy additionally, all that kind of stuff. And what Tapjoy is doing is that we are fueling the growth in this freemium app or free-to-play market. Our product and services enable all these free-to-play applications to make money. So we have alternative payment methods. People can download applications to receive virtual currency within your games, and then you guys, as a result, will gain real money for those downloads. And this kind of shows the growth between paid and the freemium model. The gray in January 2011, this is kind of like the slides previously, where in June 2011, 65% of all applications were on the freemium model. So when you guys have users in your application, only about 5% of all those users will actually pay money. So they'll actually, take out their credit cards and click on the link that says, "Hey, I'm going to pay $1, $2, $3, 50 cents, no matter what, to buy currency within your application." And how do you monetize the rest of the people that don't ever want to take out their money, that don't ever want to pay money for anything? You can use Tapjoy, you can use other services to increase the monetization. So for example, Tapjoy, we have different ad units where users can watch a video for virtual currency in your games, or you can have them download other companies' applications, stuff like that, so that these users don't have to pay any money up front, but they're still receiving virtual currency and they're still engaging with your games and still getting new content and unlocking new stuff. And these are the other ad units that we have. So we have a featured ad unit, which is a full screen takeover. We have our marketplace, which is an HTML5 page with a lot of applications. We have videos, and we have custom banners, and I'll go in depth into each one. So I'm going to start talking a little more information. There's going to be quite more information on the next few slides. So banner ad placement. So this is kind of the standard way how a lot of app developers make money. Now this is not the primary method for revenue, but this is kind of the traditional method that everybody knows. It's just a little ad unit. Some people like it, some people don't. What you want to do is you want to put your ad units into places where the user is definitely going to click on, but it's not necessarily the playing game area. So you don't intrude on the user's on the user's experience. So you want to do it, for example, here it says inventory screens, loading pages, landing screens, results screens. So stuff where it's kind of in a break or a pause of the user's playing experience. It's all about balance too, because you don't want to put so many ads in your application that the user feels really angry that he's getting bombarded with ads all the time. So you really need to find that balance between putting enough ads to make money versus keeping it clean enough so that the users will come back and they really like this experience. We also have such things such as featured ads and other custom banner ads. This featured ad is a full screen takeover, where you can put it in between levels, also results pages, where it's kind of a break in the game, and then you can show them a really nice high quality graphic of it will be other advertisers showing great games that you can play, or great offers that they can try, or kind of Groupon stuff, all these things that we have. And then we also have video ads. So a lot of users really like these video ads where it shows them a small trailer of either a movie or a new game or a new brand. Recently, we ran a video for Nike and Target. These were based. The Nike one was global, and the Target ad was specifically for the States. The Target is a large department store in America. And here's some kind of tips for you guys if you guys have a game. You guys really want to induce people to spend money, right? So you guys want to make that flow of people clicking and buying new stuff as easy as possible. So what you want to do is you want to make those buttons large and easy to tap. So the users will see that and it'll be prominent and that they'll want to click on it because it looks nice and because it gives them an incentive to do something. You don't want to use small icons and small text because they can't really read it and they don't really know what they're going to click on. You want to make good art around it to just make it look good. And also, if you have a lot of inventory or if you have a lot of items and all that kind of stuff, make sure that you put it in a way that's easily accessible for the user. This is all just good UI tips and tricks. So you make the users feel as comfortable as possible in kind of pursuing that next step and clicking on the item and then purchasing the item. This is also really important step is kind of telling your users what to do and how they can move forward in order to buy your items. So a lot of the times users don't really have enough money to kind of buy certain things. So here, you see this big red thing right next to it. It says not enough Smurf berries. So I don't know if you guys have played the Smurf Villages game on the iOS. It's a pretty fun game. I was stuck playing for about 2 weeks. And a lot of the times where they say, hey, you need to buy these items, it requires Smurf berries, which is a premium virtual currency. And here it says, you don't have enough. So it's, on the left-hand side it says okay, and on the right-hand side it says, buy. You always want to give your users options. You don't just want to tell them you can't buy this and that's it. Where it says okay. You want to be like, okay, now if you don't have enough, you can buy it. You can go to the screen where it says you can purchase more. And you can't assume anything. You can't assume that the users are going to go out of their way to go to the iTunes store or going to extra pages in order to buy your stuff. Give them that step. Put that link right there so that they will want to. It says, oh dear, you don't have any more Ramp Up, which is a high noon game. And it says get more, which is brightly lit, so it kind of gives that users to be like, oh, I want to get more. So even after they click on it, they can see what else they can buy. And for your payment options, you want to make sure that it's very, very clear and transparent to the users. So just make sure that everything is laid out and very simple. So from all these screenshots of these applications, you can see, everything is quite clearly laid out. On the bottom here, this is Dream Cortex's Pretty Pet Salon, and it gives the user a clear idea of exactly how much they're purchasing. And what they're going to get in return. What I would suggest is also offer bonuses to buy the larger packages. So what you usually see is you see 4 or 5 different packages. One for $1, another one for $2, and so on and so on. And usually the higher you go, kind of the better return you get. So I would say focus on showing that extra return so that users are more incentivized to buy those large packages. Because from what we've seen, users are more willing to spend a little bit or a lot of money, but they don't really spend in the middle. So if you show them that they can get a huge return on spending a lot, just a little bit more, for $5, $6, show them that, because the users will really gravitate towards that type of spend.
Right. Is there any devices or apps available on iOS for subscription-based model on success?
Subscription-based is really tough right now, especially in the States. I mean, in kind of all these applications that we're using is really purely focused. Well, not purely, but a large market of their users is still American. And I think the FTC is cracking down on kind of subscription-based payment options like that. So I don't have any examples of.
So you guys haven't tried to say instead of 180 once something with midways?
Yeah, like a recurring. No, we haven't really tried that. that might get us into trouble. And yeah, and like a lot of the users that we've seen, it doesn't really matter if you get them. It doesn't matter to how should I put this? We don't really need to get them on recurring because they're going to come back to purchase more coins anyways. From what we've seen, if they're a buyer once, they're going to come back to play more. As long as that game is engaging and as long as other games are engaging, they're still going to come back. So we don't really need to hook them on a certain type of subscription option.
Well, may I ask one more question?
Yeah, sure.
Have you noticed any kind of trends or economic trends in regards to the upsells? Packages sell better at certain times.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I'll get to that in a little bit. So this is featured in limited time. This is sort of to kind of what you're saying. What we've seen is what's effective is when you get a brand new user coming to your application, give them a limited time offer. Say that, hey, this is a brand new item for you as a brand new user, and you guys can get this at a big discount or something. It's like it's an awesome item, and it'll cost them maybe $1 or $2 or something. Show them that at the very beginning of their session to get them engaged with your application. We've seen that to be very, very effective. And if you do these often to all your first-time users, and then after recurring, you can have quite a big sales increase. It says right here, this is the third point. We'll have sales increase of 150% over normal store. So this is saying if you give your user from time to time a featured, let's say it's the best item in the game, and you're giving it at like a 20% discount, 30% discount, and you present that well to the user, you can increase your sales just by doing that. And also featuring seasonal items. So at certain holiday periods, it's Easter coming up, you guys have an Easter sale, or Halloween before, or Christmas, or any large holiday that you guys can think of, and just have some sort of special item. Just change the graphics a little bit and get to present that to users. We've seen those do really well as well. And this is one of my last slides. Set realistic expectations for kind of monetizing your application. Understand what the market averages are out there and what the trends are. So right now, just to give you guys an idea, from straight banner ads, what we've seen, and I'm going to talk in kind of CPMs, 35 cents to 90 cents CPMs. And the top ads can get up to $2, and that's having branded advertisers and probably a direct sales force, all that kind of stuff. So to give you guys an idea of how much money you guys can make, about 35 to 90 cents. For your virtual goods, expect 5 to 10% of your users to monetize. And good games we've seen get up to 15 cents per average daily user. And the really poor games get within a penny or half a penny per user. These are all in American currency.
Per day?
Lifetime. Daily average. And just a few of advertisers that advertise on our network. So these are all the large players. You can see Samsung, Sony, Comcast, and also publishing partners. We have quite a lot. So a lot of these game developers are also partnering us with us. Particularly in Hong Kong, we have Outblaze and also Laku. But in the States, we have a lot. You can see EA, Tiny Co, Digital Chocolate. And thank you very much. Any questions? My email is here. If you guys want to sign up, you guys can sign up at developers.tapjoy.com. It's free to sign up. You guys get access to all our services and all our products, stuff that I talked about today, all the video ads, all those other ads. We also do distribution. So I know some of you guys have questions about how do I promote my game after I've built it, either on Android or on iOS, and how do I get it out there, because there are hundreds of new apps coming out every day. That's also some of the services that we provide. We provide distribution to get you guys in front of these users, in front of our 500 million customers.
So with the introduction of iAd, how has Tapjoy repositioned itself to make it still a worthwhile investment?
So I mean, we all know that iAd has been really pushing their stance, and what they're going to do is also change a lot of the terms and services on how we track users. So what we've done is we've focused a lot of our research and development on finding new ways in what they download apps, and to provide that specific user that uses our service recommendations on other applications that they like to play. So I'm a Tapjoy user, and I've downloaded maybe 10 games in the last month and a half. So Tapjoy is now using those 10 games that I've downloaded, seeing what the similarities between those are, and seeing what other apps are in our network, and promoting that specifically to me. So if I go to tapjoy.com, then I'm going to download those apps, and I only go through those those partner applications, and those guys make money off of me.
So if I am a developer that is writing apps that targeting Asia, Hong Kong, China, Japan, we still advise us to join the Tapjoy, because as I
Yes.
can see, there is mostly the advertisers come from the States.
Yeah.
And are there any plans to add
Just explain the
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, so if I go back here, in the very beginning, I say that our market size is 38% in North America, and so the rest is around the world. And I think 20% of our network is actually in Asia now. So we've been growing Asia quite rapidly. I mean, when I first joined the company, which was back in November last year, we only had 5% in Asia. So within the last 4 or 5 months, we've grown Asia by 3 times, from 5% to about 20%. So I would advise you guys to join the Tapjoy market, because we are growing globally. A lot of our advertisers that you saw right there, I took these slides from an American slide deck, so it's going to be focused towards the American market. Those are all our large brand advertisers, and yeah, honestly, we don't have that many large brand advertisers in Asia, because we're still growing Asia. But we have a lot of app developers that advertise in Asia, so we still have a lot of money coming into Asia. So Outblaze, Laku, all these guys are spending money to acquire users, and they will use your partner applications to get those users. So you guys will get those marketing dollars. If there are no other questions, I'll sure.
Do you have an in-house optimization team for the ads?
I'm sorry?
Do you have an
in-house
in-house
open
optimization team for the ads?
Yeah, we do. I mean, so we have an account management team. All of them are based in the States. But if you sign up with us and you are either an advertiser or a publisher, you'll get like a dedicated account manager that will help you guys, number one, promote. So they'll help you guys find the right regions where your app works best, and kind of work with you guys to get the right ads out. And then secondly, they'll help you guys monetize your application, right? So we have a team that looks specifically at your application, see kind of how the flow of getting the users to pay, to purchase, the game flow itself, mechanics, all that kind of stuff, and we'll give you guys tips and kind of what we've seen work and what we don't. You guys don't have to take our advice, but we just give it to you guys because we've seen what works across all our other partners. So we have that team in the States available to help you guys get moving to understand kind of how to get it.
Can you just give us some example that are there any big check pay from Tapjoy to local developers? How much can we expect?
I mean, I guess it all depends on how many users you have on all sorts of stuff. I can tell you guys kind of on a one-on-one basis, because I don't know kind of what the numbers are, and I just can't say, because it really varies across all sorts of the developers. Some guys on our network are making $10, $15 a day because they're really small. They have a couple thousand users, maybe a couple hundred users using it. Other developers, we're paying out $5,000 to $10,000 US a day because they're pretty big. They have quite a large number of users, large daily active members. So that all depends. But if you guys are interested in knowing kind of what those numbers are with your application, feel free to talk to me.
Yeah, actually, there are 2 sections of the talk that you were.
你其實你可以講廣東話嘅，可以講。
Yeah, exactly. One part is advertising, right? Which is where I think Tapjoy is focused on. The other part is in-app purchase.
Okay.
How are you guys?
So we don't actually do the in-app purchasing ourselves, right? So
Right.
we don't have any sort of product to be a secondary middleman.
Right.
That you're going to have to work with either the iTunes Store or the Android market, the Google checkout. But what we do is we can take a look at how you're implementing that in your game, and yeah, exactly, yeah, optimize it for you guys.
仲有冇第啲問題可以即係用廣東話問㗎？唔
You
緊
guys
要。
still offer some kind of consulting?
Yes,
on
we do.
top of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron, is there any particular regional trends in regards to
general. I mean, we've seen growth. So we've seen growth across globally, so everywhere. I mean, particularly China, because that's where we've grown a lot in the last 4 or 5 months. Particularly on Android in China has been growing quite big for us. The problem with Android in China is again, as Ben said earlier, the fragmentation of the Android market. There is no official Android market out there, so you have to go to these specific, Gfun or elsewhere in order to find your users.
And another problem is about how can they receive the paycheck?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they
So-
can really do $15,000 every month. I know that. Okay,
Yeah.
but the problem is that they cannot receive it.
Exactly. So I mean, so we're working with those issues too, because so we have a team in China that's working directly with developers as well.
Where will be the headquarters of the team in China?
Beijing.
Beijing.
Yeah. So we have a team of 4 people in Beijing.
OK。誒，仲有冇第啲問題可以好隨便問？即係
我想問咧，Tapjoy咧對於 Android 對 iOS 個 PV 係點？
No. So it's going to be a lot lower on Android because the user monetization in Android is still quite low. The problem is because in-app purchasing on Android is not as quick and easy as it is on the iOS. So in terms of monetizing on our network, for Android it's going to be about 2 to 3 times lower. And that's just what we've seen across all our partner apps. So if you're making, let's say one application is on iOS and you're making $1,000 a day, you're probably only going to make $300 a day on Android with the same user statistics. That might change, hopefully soon, because Google is probably going to implement better ways to get these users in the in-app purchasing. But the main issue is because these apps are making so little money on in-apps on Android, they're not as willing to pay as much to obtain users. So that's why our network isn't monetizing as well. On the iOS, those iOS companies are making a lot of money per user. So they're able to spend $1, $2, $3 to acquire a user. On Android, it's not the same. So.
how will you comment on using Tapjoy to acquire user and then use Tapjoy again to make money?
Yeah. So a lot of our partners are doing exactly that. So a lot of them are monetizing through us, and they're also advertising through us. And what we try to find is a positive ROI relationship where you're making more money than you're spending. Of course, that's not always possible, but our team is quite good in optimizing it to get it as close to possible and to get it positive.
If some developers just want to do that, how much should they begin it and to pay Tapjoy?
I mean,
any idea?
I would say, like just sign up and to get our SDK within your application. You guys can first use it to monetize, and then you guys can see whether or not you guys want to continue to acquire new users. So what we've seen a lot of application developers do is implement our software to put ads on, and they realize that they're making a lot of money, and they can put that money back into marketing. So you guys can do it that way, or if you guys already have a marketing budget and you guys are already spending to acquire users, through Google or through Facebook or whatever, try using our platform, because our platform gives you guys those installs. I mean, particularly in Asia, it's going to be mostly games because we don't have any large brand advertisers in Asia yet. What we do have is we have the large advertisers in America that are advertising globally. So for example, Nike, Reebok, these guys are advertising globally. And then a lot of the people on the slide are just focused on the US region. But hopefully within the next 3 to 6 months, we're growing our China headquarters, and we're hiring a new sales director that's going to be spearheading this objective for us.
Yeah, Patrick, you mentioned on the top of the presentation that you guys are mainly focused on games, but it works on.
It works across, yeah. I mean,
do you see any kind of meaningful differentiation on how we should be focused on ads in terms of utilities versus games?
I mean, I would say it's for utility apps, it's going to be a lot different because you don't have your users as engaged.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So I would say, try to find ways to upsell your users on utility apps after they have used your app for a certain number of days or something. Put in like a new pop-up or put in a new ad that says, hey, why don't you try these new applications to give you guys money, or to try these new products that we can sell you at a certain.
So I noticed that a lot of non-games actually kind of get
I think, I mean, I haven't, so to be honest, I haven't worked at that many utility apps, so I don't
Right.
know what the improvement is, or any improvement on Game Center. I would think it would, because at least it would get the user to kind of come back maybe a little bit more, but it might not be that much, because Game Center doesn't do that much to push the user to try it back.
Right.
You know,
It's always about like getting them back.
Exactly, yeah, and it is about getting them back. And you know what we do again on our network, or kind of using other advertising partners, you can always try to do a re-engagement program where you say, hey, you haven't used our app within X many days, you know, you can get them back, you know, or you can have like a little notification that says, hey, I haven't seen you here in 5 days, you know, come back and try it again.
I see you have mentioned HTML5 cross-platform.
Yeah.
So what's the chance in our experience? So is that the future of the gap development?
Yeah. So I mean, a big focus for Tapjoy, and I didn't talk about this because it's going to be too much information for you guys in one presentation. But we focus a lot of our efforts going forward on HTML5. We know that this is going to be a brand new platform. You know, let's say platform to get users not just on Android or iOS, but it's going to be cross-platform, like you said. Our service works for that as well. You know, so if you're building an HTML5 game, you know, you can use our service to, number one, monetize, number two, distribute, to get new users. And from what I'm seeing on our company standpoint is we're going to keep on putting more resources into building this new area out.
So what's the difference for you thesis on which development you use it for? So if HTML5 is quite good, then why and when will you plan the development to HTML5?
I mean, so we are currently now building HTML5.
Now
Yeah.
it's done now.
Yeah, now, exactly. So we do have services out for this. So I mean, we also have services out for Windows Phone developers, but you know, there just aren't that many.
Any other consideration, for example, performance or distribution or cost of development?
It's
what do you think the differences between that?
cost of development. I think HTML5 is actually less
Yeah.
than kind of native
Yeah.
development, because again, you know,
Cross-platform, so
yeah, exactly,
just,
cross-platform, exactly. So you just one, and then you can get it all across. You know, from what we've seen though, is you know, native apps, you can get those native apps out quicker. What I mean is you can gain a lot more users faster, because there are these iTunes App Store, or there is the Android market, or all these markets. HTML5, there isn't this standard market yet, so it's hard to get your app featured or you know.
Do you
getting
think
it.
it will be compatible with the App Store in the future for HTML5?
I don't know that. I'm not sure.
And why is this 6 times better monetization?
Oh, well, so this actually shouldn't have been in the thing, because this is the last slide. I forgot to take it out. But this was 6x better monetization compared to a previous slide that also I didn't have. It was talking about our previous HTML5 experience, which was not as good. And if you guys go to tapjoy.com right now, it's a more consumer based experience, where it actually says, hey, you have an account with us, and we are going to recommend all these apps to you and all that kind of stuff. So this is just telling to the fact that we've kind of overhauled our entire tapjoy.com website to be more focused on the user. So before it was a very B2B, us talking to app developers as companies. Now it's us talking to app consumers, app users, saying like, hey, we have a record of your behavior and all your app downloads, and now we know what you like, and here's more games that you like, and you're going to download more through us, and you're going to earn more money through virtual currency, and you're going to earn our partners more money because you guys are downloading apps.
Is there a way to misuse Tapjoy in a way that's not allowed in Apple?
Is there a way to misuse Tapjoy that is not allowed? There is. So I don't know if you guys know, but Apple has banned any sort of incentivized downloads across their entire platform. And so before, in the past, we were doing incentivized downloads for Apple, and we still are for Android, but we're not doing that for Apple anymore. The developers, if you guys are savvy enough and you know want to do it, you guys can use our platform and provide incentivized installs for your users. We don't recommend that. We don't condone that. We don't want you guys to do that because it's a risk on your end because you guys are going to get banned. From what we've seen, we've seen other companies get banned from the iTunes app stores. One, for example, is Dream Cortex. They got shut off from iTunes app stores. I'm sure they're fine and they're okay. You can just put up like a new company and a new face, and Apple's not going to care. But these are things that you guys have to be worried about. And, we don't want you guys doing this because it hurts us as a brand too. Because we don't want to size up the rules, and we know you guys don't want to. But there's that. You guys are going to make more money. Again, on Android, it's okay to do that. So if you guys want to do that, start looking at Android too.
Okay.
Any more questions? Just feel free to ping me after this whole meetup. And I have business cards if anybody